When you hear self-care, what do you picture? A perfect morning, a quiet room, a cup of something aesthetic. No notifications, no deadlines, no chaos. But real life isn't like that. Real life is traffic, group chats, family responsibilities, noisy neighbors, tight schedules, and that heavy feeling that you should be doing more. So here's what I want to do today. I'm going to share Japanese-style self-care habits that actually work even when life is messy. Not spa day fantasy. Not a dramatic, new me in 24 hours, plan. Just tiny rituals, so small they look boring, yet powerful enough to change your nervous system over time. And I'm not just going to list them. I'm going to translate them into real life, what to do, why it works, and how to make it stick. By the end, I want you to choose 2 habits and start today, because that's how change becomes real. Let's start with a concept that's almost invisible. But it's the foundation of everything. Move with tenderness. Imagine if every small action in your day, placing your phone down, opening a door, folding clothes, could become a mindful ritual. You don't need a meditation cushion for that. You just need one decision. Do one normal movement slowly and gently. Like it matters. Try it right now. If your phone is in your hand, don't drop it onto the table like you're throwing stress at your life. Place it down slowly, gently, like you're holding something you care about. Notice what happens to your shoulders. Notice your breathing. When your body moves like you're safe, your brain starts to believe you're safe. That's the secret. The body leads, the mind follows. Now take that same idea and apply it to something people think is just a drink, matcha. Matcha is trending, but in Japan the self-care part isn't the powder, it's the process. If you rush the process, you keep your mind in the same state, chasing results, chasing speed, chasing the next thing. But if you treat the process like a ritual, you turn an ordinary drink into a moving meditation. When you make tea, coffee, or matcha, pause and use your senses. Watch the steam rise, listen to the water, smell what's in the cup, feel warmth in your hands. It's not about being fancy. It's about being present, and presence is medicine. That connects to a Japanese way of thinking I love, not smell the scent, but listen to it. It sounds strange in English, but that's exactly why it works. Listen forces you to slow down and treat scent like something you meet with attention, not something you consume. So next time you light a candle or incense, don't just think, this smells good. Close your eyes, inhale slowly, and try to notice one detail: wood, citrus, smoke, floral, clean soap, whatever it is. Exhale longer than you inhale. That long exhale is your body's signal of calm, and the scent becomes a doorway into a quieter state of mind. Then there's one of the most beautiful ideas in Japanese daily life. Komorebi, sunlight filtering through the leaves of trees. It's not just pretty, it trains your brain to notice beauty you normally miss. And that's a major self-care skill. The ability to find small peace without waiting for your life to be perfect. So here's a simple challenge. The next time you go outside, don't scroll. Look for komorebi. Stand under it for 20 seconds. Watch the light move. Take one slow breath. Your brain is not only calming down, it's learning a new habit. I can return to the present. Now let's bring self-care to the moment you come home. Because this is where most people carry stress into their safe space. In Japan, cleansing is not only physical, it's symbolic. That's why washing hands can be a mental reset. When you get home today, wash your hands and add one sentence in your mind. I'm leaving today's stress at the sink. You're creating a boundary. Outside world ends, home begins. This is not about superstition. It's about giving your brain a clear transition, so you don't drag the whole day into your evening. And if you want a morning version of that reset, open the window. In Japan, opening the window isn't just airing out the room. It's changing the energy. Fresh air in, stale air out. Your space breathes, and your mind follows. Open the window for 1 minute. Let light in, let the room breathe, even if your day is busy. This tiny action tells your brain, a new day is starting. Now add a habit that sounds almost too simple: gratitude to the sun. Step toward the light in the morning, balcony, doorway, window, and say one line: thank you for today. If you feel awkward, say it silently. This habit matters because it starts your day from enough, not from lack. It moves your mind from, I'm behind, to, I'm here. And once you've opened the window and faced the light, do a 5-minute clean. Not a deep clean, not perfection, 5 minutes only. Zen cleaning is basically meditation with your hands. You're organizing your outer space so your inner space can calm down. A tidy corner reduces friction. Less friction means better choices. This is self-care that builds a better environment for the future you. Now, let's talk about movement, because a calm mind is hard to keep inside a stiff body. Japan has a famous tradition, radio taiso. The detail doesn't matter as much as the principle. Short, simple, gentle, daily movement. 3 minutes is enough to change your state. If you want an easy version, roll shoulders, stretch arms, bend knees gently, twist the spine lightly, breathe. The point is not intensity. The point is identity. When you move daily, you teach your brain, I'm someone who takes care of myself. Another Japanese habit that fits perfectly with this gentle approach is seiyu, warm water. Warm water is underrated because it doesn't look impressive, but it's a soft start. It tells the body to relax. It's often better than adding more caffeine when you're already anxious. If you want self-care that works on a stressful day, warm water is one of the easiest entry points. No equipment, no motivation, just warmth. Now I want to share a habit that surprises people: solo karaoke. Most people think karaoke is entertainment, but singing is also emotional ventilation. It's breathing, it's vibration, it's release. Here's a real-life story. A young office worker in Vietnam finishes a brutal week. Their head is loud, their chest feels tight. Friends invite them out, but they don't have energy to talk. They don't want advice. They don't want to explain anything. They just want the pressure to leave their body. So they go alone for 1 hour, karaoke. Or even just in the car. They sing the songs they loved as a teenager. Their voice cracks. They laugh. They tear up. They breathe deeper than they breathed all week. And when they walk out, they're not magically fixed. But they're lighter. They're back in their body. That's self-care. If you can't do karaoke, sing privately, shower, room, car. The goal is release, not performance. Now, there's a cultural practice in Japan that involves salt, morishio, small piles of salt placed in a home. You don't need to believe anything mystical. Use the practical value. It becomes a visual cue, a reminder that your home is a calm place, a symbol that you're choosing peace inside your space. But if that feels too spiritual for you, skip it. The bigger principle is this: design your environment with cues that help you feel grounded. That leads to another beautiful Japanese idea: designing calming sound with nature. Japanese gardens often include intentional sound, water, bamboo, rain. Why? Because natural rhythms calm the body. Sound shapes mood faster than motivation ever will. Your version can be simple: a wind chime, rain sounds, soft water, gentle candle crackle, or just listening to real rain without doing anything else. Put it low volume. Let it become background calm instead of background stress. Now let's go deeper into body-based calm. Focus your awareness on the lower belly, tanden. Whether you believe in energy or not, the technique is powerful because it moves attention away from spinning thoughts and back into the body. When you're stressed, try this. Inhale and feel the belly expand. Exhale longer. Imagine your attention dropping lower. You're not solving life in that moment. You're regulating your nervous system. That's real self-care. Next is something Japan is famous for: the connection between space and mind. Siri and Satan, letting go of what you don't need, and organizing what you do. When your room is messy, your brain feels like it has open tabs. When your room is clear, your mind feels less noisy. Don't try to declutter your whole life in one day. Choose one drawer, remove 10 things you don't use. Put the rest into clear zones. That's enough to create a mental shift. Now, there's a traditional Japanese element that many people associate with calm: tatami. But even if you don't have tatami, you can copy the principle. Bring nature indoors. Natural textures, fewer plastic distractions, a simple plant, a cleaner corner, warmer light. Your environment is not neutral. It either calms you or stresses you, quietly. Now let's talk about the bath. In Japanese culture, bathing is not only cleaning the body, it's a reset button for the heart. But if you don't have a bathtub, there's a simple alternative: hand bathing. Fill a basin with warm water. around a comfortable warmth, and soak your hands up to the wrists for 10 minutes. This is shockingly effective because hands carry tension. Warmth signals safety, and safety is what your mind is actually craving. Here's another story. A student has exam week. Sleep is broken. They try to meditate, but their thoughts race. They try to be positive, but it feels fake, so they do hand bathing at night. 10 minutes, warm water, slow breathing, no pressure to perform calm. The shoulders drop, the jaw unclenches, the mind stops screaming, and for the first time in days, sleep becomes possible, not because life changed, but because the body finally got the message. You're safe right now. And finally, the last habit turns self-care outward. Pray for someone. In Japan, prayer is often less about being religious and more about a simple habit of care, especially for family and loved ones. Even if prayer isn't your thing, you can do a secular version. Close your eyes and wish health and safety for someone you care about. When you direct care outward, your nervous system softens, the inner pressure eases. You remember you're connected, not alone in your head. Now, here's the most important part. If you try all of these, you'll do none, so don't chase 18 habits. Choose 2. Pick one for the morning. Open the window and drink warm water. Or stretch for 3 minutes and thank the sun. Pick one for the evening. Wash hands as a reset. Or hand bath. Or 5-minute tidy. Then attach them to triggers, after brushing teeth, after coming home, before charging your phone at night. Because self-care that works is not intense. It's consistent. It's gentle design. It's tiny rituals repeated until your body learns calm as a default, not as a rare event. Here's the takeaway I want you to remember. Your life won't change from one big transformation. It changes from tiny decisions you repeat when nobody applauds. Japanese self-care, at its best, isn't luxury. It's a quiet commitment to return to peace. Again and again, using simple actions that your busy life can actually handle. Choose 2 habits. Start today. Do it for 7 days. Then notice what shifts. Your mood, your sleep, your patience, your focus. Comment which habit you'll try first, and why. Take care of your health, and have a good day.